Here we are in Wimbledon after the men's semifinals, and I am here with my old friend and colleague, and elegant Steve Flink. Steve, were you expecting such a performance by Roger Federer? He served unbelievable.
Who could have anticipated that he would be that astounding? 76% of his first serves, Ubaldo. 20 aces in the match, 11 of them in the first set. He faced a break point in his opening service game. First game of the match, never faced another. That's about as sustained a serving performance as I've ever seen him. And that's, to me, was the key to the victory.
Do you think Andy Murray would regret that since he won the draw, that he decided to return on the first game? Because he was close to break Federer, but then for the whole match he was always behind. He had always to fight, and he was down 4-5, 5-6, and it's tough.
He'd probably argue that he had figured that he would get his share of opportunities along the way to break, but I'm sure in retrospect he looks back on it now and thinks, I should have gone ahead and served that first game, and that way I would have been up 1-love, 2-1, 3-2, and maybe I could have put the pressure on Roger rather than vice versa.
Yeah, well, Andy said afterwards, I had not enough opportunities to regret anything, because, I mean, Federer was, he said, Federer has never served better than he did against me in all his matches.
There's no doubt about it. I don't know if he's ever served better against anyone in any major at any time, even in right smack in his prime back in those years between 04 and 07. That's what amazed me. And can he replicate it in the final? That would be remarkable. If he did, if he got anywhere near that 76% and served 20 aces, Djokovic would be hard-pressed to beat him.
I remember, Steve, you were a great supporter of Pete Sampras' abilities. I thought that today, sometimes, with the forehand, running on the right side and playing a cross-passing shot, really Federer reminded me the best Pete Sampras.
You could say that. He reminded me of Sampras in the way he served, too, because people forget, Sampras didn't try to break the speed gun record. He left that to Greg Rusedski, Mark Philippoussis, other servers. Let them serve 140, 142. He was okay with going 127, 129 and finding the corners time and again. Roger reminded me of that today. He'd ace him at 116 down the tee. He'd ace him at 112 out wide. The speeds always varied, but not trying to overdo the speed, going for precision over pace.
Yes. Look, on ubitennis.com I put a replay of the point that he played when he was love 15 in the last game, and he played an unbelievable backhand passing shot.
Off a drive volley from Murray that looked perfect, right?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I've seen so many tennis balls, tennis shots. You have done it too, because you are much older than me, and well, I mean,
well, that was an artist, was it not?
Artist.
He was loose at that point. He was audacious in the best possible sense of the word, and he pulled it off as probably only Federer could. That will go probably in his in our career highlight reel when we look back as one of the great shots in a big game at an important moment.
Okay, now it wouldn't be nice to forget the first semifinal, even if we all expected that Djokovic would have won in 3 sets maybe versus Gasquet, but Gasquet gave him a match. Finally, I mean, while in Roland Garros he was destroyed.
Right.
Today we saw a very nice Gasquet too.
We did. Now Djokovic had the immediate break. He was up 2-love, 30-love, 2-love, 40-30. Lost his serve for the only time in the match there. That's why he ended up in an opening set tiebreak. But he won the tiebreak easily. He peppered away at the Gasquet forehand, took that tiebreak easily, and rolled on to victory from there. I thought it was an impressive performance. Not him at his zenith, but close enough. Very impressive from the backcourt, and now he's won 2 straight set matches in a row heading into the final.
Well, now I want to put you in troubles. I mean, we have Djokovic and Federer. Federer leads 20-19. Djokovic has won the last 2 matches, and then he won the final Wimbledon last year.
Yes.
So who is your favorite now? I mean, do you think that Federer can repeat himself the way he played today?
Would you call me a coward if I didn't pick a winner in the final?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm
you
a coward.
You have to pick it.
Well, here's the problem I have. I believe if he reached the same level that even Djokovic, of serving, that even Djokovic would not beat him. I don't expect that. it's such a. I want 24 hours to think about it, and here's why.
All right.
You think
Well,
back
so
to the.
we'll talk after the women's final.
Yes, because the final last year, 2-1, 5-2 in the fourth for Djokovic. It ended up going to 6-4 in the fifth. Indian Wells, he's crushing him up a set and a break. Federer worked his way back into that match. He seems to make Djokovic uneasy, even when Djokovic is in the process of beating him what looks like it could be handily. So I think it's going to. I think one thing I will say, great chance for another 5-set final.
Yeah, and then, Steve, you remember that Novak Djokovic had his best magic year in 2011.
Yes.
He was unbeaten. He goes
Right.
to Roland Garros, and what happens in the semifinal? He plays a great match, but he loses to Roger Federer.
You know, Roger Federer at his best on the clay, who then Federer, of course, lost the final to Nadal, but it was a brilliant performance against Djokovic in the semis. This match right now is too difficult for me to forecast. I suppose I'll say this. Force me to pick a winner today, Federer.
All right. All right. I will do the same also because I am a romantic. And I love the idea that Federer can win 8 times. And
Which he says doesn't matter.
Yeah, he says, but it's not true. He's lying. And then,
Well, I don't think he's lying, but I think if were he to win it and people were to
joking.
say to him, "You've now surpassed Pete
Well.
Sampras at Wimbledon with 8 titles," he would be very proud of the achievement.
Yes, as I'm, when I'm, when I'm joking with you, describing you as not an elegant man, even if you have the best tie and the best jacket, I like to tease also the others, and make jokes. So the only thing I would like to know now, who is going to win tomorrow between Serena Williams and Muguruza? Because I have the feeling that Muguruza could be, something that you don't expect, that could do something that nobody believes that she could be able to do.
I think she's going to do very well. I think she's going to push it into 3 sets. In the end, I think we're going to see the vaunted Serena Williams willpower will make the biggest difference, along with her first serve, and that Williams will be the victor in 3 tight sets.
All right, we'll see tomorrow. I will check on him. Thanks a lot, and see you from Wimbledon tomorrow night.